Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Market Snapshot series. My name is Rufas Kamau, Markets Analyst at FX Pesa. So once you join in, kindly say hi on the live comment section, and these will confirm that everything is working just fine. Awesome. So today, there is quite a number of things happening, and also this week. So hello, Apollo, and thank you for your response. So there's quite a number of things that you'll be expecting to be happening in the markets today, as well as this week. So first things first, we know that today is a public holiday in the UK. So we'll be expecting low volumes coming from the UK as well as the European session. So it's the coronation day for King Charles. And out of these, we know there is a bank holiday both in the UK as well as in France. So we'll be expecting low volume, and also the UK 100 index is closed today. So it will be reopening tomorrow. So besides that, there's quite a number of things. One is that we had a meeting on Saturday. This is the Berkshire Hathaway's annual shareholder meeting. So it's normally held in Omaha by two of the veteran investors. That is the Oracle of Omaha, or Warren Buffett, as well as Charlie Munger. So you can check out the transcript on what happened during the shareholder meeting. It was held the entire day. So there is quite a number of things that were discussed over the meeting. This includes the impact of AI in the markets, US economic policy, inflation, as well as the war in Ukraine. So besides these, we also have quite a number of data coming up this week. So we can check out the economic calendar right away. So today being Monday, we are not expecting much, as you can see, bank holiday here and bank holiday here. So the only noteworthy news for the day will be the FOMC Financial Stability Report, and these will be coming up at 11 p.m. and this will be 1 hour to midnight. So since the market is very silent on news, then we'll be expecting a lot of traders to be heavily dependent on technical analysis. So this is the the best week for technical analysis traders, because there's not much news in the markets to worry about. However, for the rest of the week, we'll be having more news coming up. So for instance, we'll be seeing the Chinese trade balance tomorrow, very early in the morning. And then on Wednesday, we'll be focusing on a big data announcement of the US inflation data. So in the previous reading, it was 5%. We expect it to remain the same at around 5%. So after we look at that on that Wednesday, then we move on Thursday. So Thursday, we'll get Chinese inflation data, which is very important at 4:30 a.m. Then we look at a Bank of England interest rate decision. So we are expecting that the Bank of England will go for a 25 basis point hike, which would push UK interest rates to 4.5%. Later on, we'll be having a speech by Bank of England Governor Bailey. Then we'll look at the core producer price index as well as producer price index for the US. So as we approach the end of the week, the most important data point will be GDP data for the UK at 9 a.m. So we are expecting that in the last 3 months, the UK economy grew by 0.1%. Then later on, we look at the preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment data, and these will be on Friday at 5 p.m. So as you can see, there's not much that we'll be expecting to be happening in the day. So a lot of technical analysis will reign supreme. So on the chart side, we know that gold managed to bounce from a $2,000 price level on Friday. And since then, it has made an impressive recovery. So far, it's currently trading at around 2020. So perhaps some further upside will be expected for the day. So it's an impressive recovery. And also we know that 2000 price level has been a big anchor for gold. So if you track the 2000 level, you can see for some time back, it was acting as resistance, and now this time it's acting as support. So being an anchor, we could be seeing some further upside happening in gold. So another key thing to observe in the markets is that the dollar index remains weak. So last week, you can see attempts to go up or going down. So for last week, it was a big sell-off, especially after the interest rate data. So a very sharp drop to this level. This is a 100.8 acting as support. So happened to hold several times, and now we are retesting the same level. So, well, on one side, the dollar index is indicating some form of weakness. There could be a chance that we'll be seeing some technical analysis here at play. So if the dollar index manages to bounce from this level, then we could be seeing other currencies pulling backwards. So we have seen extended levels happening in major currency pairs. For instance, the current rally in pound USD has gone all the way to 1.265. So this is the area that we have seen. So if you look backwards and you look at the daily chart, this was a major resistance, and this was all the way back on 27th May last year. So it's a 1 year high compared to the current price. So if the market happens to find a strong resistance here, then a pullback is in order. So we will be expecting some form of pullback to be happening here on pound USD. So for intraday trading, this could be a crucial level. So potentially seeing the pound USD drop back to 1.258. So it's a similar case across other currency pairs. So if you look at the daily chart here, we are just happening to see a major resistance level being tested here, which happened to be holding pretty well last week. But now today we have a straight up break. So potentially some further upside if the US dollar weakness persists. But then we cannot rule off a retest of this area. Seems to be a major level that was acting as resistance some time back. So 0.631 seems to be a key price level for New Zealand USD currency pair. So for Euro USD, we are seeing this kind of confusion out of two movements to and fro, up and down. So it's more or less of a market that is trading sideways. So if I clean up my chart here, you can all observe what's happening here. So we have a trend line holding pretty well on the forward chart. And also on the upper side, you can see that the market is currently unable to break this resistance around this area. So if the market seems to be trading within these two boundaries, then trading the extremes might make sense. So currently we are on an upswing. We just bounced from the lower trend line. So if the US dollar weakness persists, then this area could be a nice target, which is in line with last week's high. So we are looking at a potential price level of 1.10912, but then we cannot rule off the market going back. So USD CAD seems to be the most bearish one. If you look at the forward chart, this is how it's looking like, but then it's also trading at a key price level. So this is our support level here. This was the lowest price that we saw some time back. So this was holding quite well on the 14th of April and also some time back in February, 14th of February. And now we could be seeing another 14th happening here. So it's a very sharp drop, but indications of some dollar strength could lead to a nice bounce here. So I would be observing this most importantly to see what happens when price gets the support level of 1.33045. So currently a very strong bearish trend. So I wouldn't be trading it any other way until I see signs of bullish entry. So for USD JPY, managed to happen to have this strong bounce here. So last week in my analysis, I was expecting the price to drop to this support level of 133.123, but then it didn't happen. The US dollar picked up pretty strongly, and now we are seeing another key level being tested here, a level that we had seen act as a resistance. So market is currently testing the same level again. So a break above 135.124 would mean that we go up for the day. But then if the market is unable to break here, then we go back downwards. So I think the most important chart for the day seems to be Brent oil, which is on a 3-day rally. So on Thursday last week, you can see we had a very nice bounce from 71.5. Market pulled back down, formed a very nice pin bar here, rejected the price again, and then on Friday, we had a very nice rally. So price held here as expected, 75.4, which was our resistance here. But then now price is strongly moving higher. So potentially we could be seeing the price get to 77.393, which was a major support here. So it could be working as the target for the day if the bullishness continues for the rest of the day. So as for US equity indices, they made a good rally last week, but today they seem to be trading sideways. And also notice that there is a major resistance around this area that the market is attempting to break, but has not broken yet. So I would be very observant for the Dow Jones on whether it breaks here, so we can trade higher. And if it manages to reject this area, then we go back downwards. So key price level, 33,771. Then for the S&P 500, it's a similar story. Market goes up, faces a very strong resistance, and is unable to break. So today, it seems like a retest after trading sideways from the close of the market on Friday. So we don't have a lot of volatility. As we all know, we have low liquidity happening in the Eurozone because of the holidays. So perhaps action will be happening during the New York session. So lastly, US Tech 100 was the most bearish one last week before making a rally on Friday. But then it's a key level retest. So we are all seeing the market face a rejection of this resistance. So any signs of bearishness could see us dropping further back downwards. So a price level of 13,096 might be a nice target. So it's just a wait and see kind of scenario. Good morning, Tony, and welcome to the session. Hello, Charles. Hello, Shine, John, Agri, Trapsked. Thank you guys for joining. Unable to hear you from my end. What could be the problem? I don't know what's happening. I hope everyone else can hear me. Thank you, Apollo, for confirming that the voice is clear. Last week, my opinion was one with heavy hitting fundamental news. My view, technicals may reign supreme this week, exactly. DXY appears to be very low on fuel to break into either direction. From my opinion, from what I'm seeing with the dollar index, I think it's such a huge drop that we could be seeing some form of pullback happening. So whenever I see the DXY experiencing this big drop here, and then retest the support several times, then it's time to start thinking of the opposite. So there is a good chance we'll be seeing the dollar recover. And if the dollar will be recovering, then we'll be seeing the opposite direction happening in other majors as well as equity indices. And we can already see the signs happening, especially with the US Tech 100 or the NASDAQ. So a very strong rejection here may imply that the price has failed to break this level, and we could be seeing the price pulling back downwards. So one of the catalysts would be a much stronger dollar. So if the dollar starts to recover, then we could be seeing some reversals happening in these charts. So that's it for today. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you on this session. So as we all know, we'll be having another session tomorrow. So these sessions run from Monday to Thursday. And on each and every day, we try and understand the key market developments as well as the key price levels. So there was a request to check on CAD JPY, so I won't miss that. So from what I'm seeing here, it's a market that is trading and making some good swings. So it seems like a completed pattern. We all know this particular pattern, the double bottom on the daily. So I'm hoping everyone can see this on this chart. So after this, further drop, and it seems like the neckline is in play. So here is our neckline, around 100.845, and it seems like the market is breaking higher. So potentially, we could be seeing some higher prices happening in this one. And of course, the short-term target is on the previous resistance. So this is a potential play for CAD JPY, where the market could eventually rally to the previous high. So we have a really nice swing, very strong recovery here. And of course, the JPY is obviously weak, and we have seen it happening where a majority of other currencies are making very strong rallies against the dollar. But in this case, the dollar is very strong against the Japanese yen. So if you're a CAD JPY trader, there is a good chance we'll be seeing some further upside. So remember, this is not investment advice, neither is it a recommendation to trade. So you should always do your own due diligence. So thank you guys. See you on the next session.